Hey, for real? Nah, that bitch, you think I'm finna let a say any mother thing to me? You got to be crazy. You did this. I was talking to you. Was I talking to her? No.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We are talking to you guys about Put a Ring on It, and we're dealing with Shay and Alfonso. And I'm going to say this straight: Shay needs to be hella honest with herself. She is the problem. Did you hear that clip where she said, "This is your fault. I was talking to you, baby. I need you to take accountability for your actions. You don't get to pass on somebody else. This is you and you alone." Now, I already said that I think Alfonso could have controlled the situation better, and that's something he has to be accountable for in terms of controlling the whole thing. But sis, you got to hold yourself accountable for the actions that you did. Plategate, you almost lost flavors in your face due to this girl back to use the 5-finger discount with the plate. Sis, you were about to run onto a ceramic plate. I don't think you understand. You are about to be concaved, and you're talking about someone else being the issue. It's you. No one else. But let's talk about some real things. Let's talk about the reason why we're in that situation. So if you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because the streets out there, they are hot. Before we go any further, let's get the outro going, baby.
Little Black, you know what time it is.
Yes, we're talking to you about Shay and Alfonso. And again, I want to play another clip. I want to go a little bit further on when Shay begins to speak to Dr. Nicole about her experience. Just want to hear this now.
Never react in a manner that's going to downgrade who I am as a person. So, of course, to get out of character in any situation and you play it.
Now, this is why I said I want Shay to be hella honest. Sis, if this was the first time, I would agree with you that you came out of pocket, maybe out of character. It is what it is. I mean, there's such as a situation that it's a bit volatile that you came out that way, the way that you did, based on the fact that he didn't say hello or didn't acknowledge you. That's what made you want to get up and fight. That's what made you riled up to a point that you want to fight the other woman. Now, that tells me there's a bigger issue here. That's not that's out of my character. No, that's in your character because you got up and wanted to fight in that moment over a small thing. But hey, do you know what? Maybe you had a Will Smith moment, once in a lifetime situation. All right, cool. But let's not forget you approached a girl in a car and aggressively approached her, put your hand on the car, opened the door, and was trying to instruct her not to do anything. So this is not the first time we've seen this aggressive behavior from yourself, Shay. And I don't doubt this will be the last time we see the aggressive nature come out. Now, however you do it, whether it's subtle or overt, there's going to be some aggression coming out from Shay because this is you. You're failing to deal with you. So I need you to be honest about what you see as a reflection in the mirror. Just because you want to see somebody who's perfect, somebody who's good, and somebody who doesn't get riled up easily, that's okay. That's what you want to see. That's a goal. That's an ambition. But that's not what's happening right now. The realest thing of it is you react violently, and when you get frustrated, when you get angry, when you get hurt. And I spoke about this in the emotional video. When your emotions are dictating you and you're not allowing yourself time to think of logic, this can happen.
Back in your mind, like, oh my God, why did it go that far? How did it go that far? And what do I need to do to ensure that this never happens again?
What do you?
Now, here's my thing. I totally understand and I respect that. She wants to make sure it doesn't happen again. She wants to make sure that this doesn't go this far again. My thing is, will she learn? Will she learn or will she transfer what she feels into another way? Because sometimes what people will say is, I don't want to have that type of reaction, right? So they work on that and they work on that, but they don't work on the root cause. If we only subvert the behavior for this particular aspect of getting angry and getting vexed and then getting physical, it doesn't solve the root issue. We must kill things at the root so that the behavior can change permanently. Otherwise, you'll find another way to be able to control the situations. You'll find another way of being able to control the narrative. You'll find another way of being able to control Alfonso. We don't want that. We don't want that. Okay, we don't want that for you. All right, cool. Let's play a bit more.
Think in that moment made you feel like you had to defend yourself the way that you did?
And I said this on the last video that I did as well. Defend yourself means anger is a form of self-defense. If you don't know that, when we get angry, it's a form of self-defense. With self-protection, we protect ourselves with anger. What it sends a signal to everybody else around you is, do not mess with me. I'm not here to play with. I can get violent when I need to. That's what anger shows as, because oftentimes if it's anger, the underneath it kind of emotion, the underneath aspect we feel is the feeling that we feel often is frustration, hurt, pain, and it leads into anger. That's what the Bible says, be angry, but sin not. The anger isn't the issue. It is the response that you choose in that moment through your emotion called anger in that moment.
So what emotionally triggered my thoughts, how I felt? They just sat next to us as if we didn't know each other. And for me in particular, that's a problem.
So what did she say? Because they sat down without really acknowledging her. By the way, Dr. Cole said they shouldn't acknowledge her because they on separate dates. That's what triggered her. So you felt unseen and unheard. In a moment, you shouldn't have actually even felt unseen and unheard, which means you felt insecure in that moment about your relationship with Alfonso. There's a deeper aspect here. It ain't to do with old girl. It's what old girl represents. It's the fact that you haven't dealt with self in terms of how you feel securely in your relationship, which means there's work that needs to be done within you as well as being done within the relationship. And so the anger that you showed was a cover up for the hurt and the pain you felt in that moment. But instead of you just voicing that, you got angry. It's easier to be angry because it's a form of power. It leaves you less vulnerable, seemingly, because it's self-defense.
Well, I can say this, the data that you are coming to find out, Ms. Shay, you short circuit your opportunity to collect real data about what's happening with you and Mr. Fonzo.
I love that from Dr. Nicole as well. You're short-circuiting the ability to discover the data you need in order to make a wise decision. Simple as. What you've gone through, I sympathize and I empathize with you, but you have to understand, sis, you can't react the way you do whenever you feel like. Your behavior cannot be so volatile. That's problematic, right? Because in the sense of when you deep the situation, it wasn't that deep, but you got that angry because he didn't acknowledge you when he wasn't supposed to, which means there's something deeper. And when we deal with that root cause, when we start to scrape out those things that have happened to us in the past and bring them to the foreground, we'll start to realize that's why you're triggered in those moments. But the frustration of you getting angry and getting physical, that can't be a regular thing. I can be honest with you, that cannot be a regular thing. Anyway, I like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button. We'll talk a bit more as the week goes on about this particular show, because I think there's a lot more to discuss. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you so locked and